Seven highly guarded secrets from the market wizards that are going to change the way you trade. From traders such as Paul Tudor Jones, Bruce Kovner, Jim Rogers, these guys are the best of the best. And collectively, the market wizards managed about $50 billion. So they had $50 billion under management. So this is timeless wisdom from the top traders in the world. Okay. And this type of knowledge is going to stick through the ages. It never changes. It was relevant 10, 20, 30 years ago, and it's relevant today. It'll be relevant next year and for the rest of your trading career. So make sure you watch this to the end. Number 3 is pretty interesting, so you want to make sure you check that one out as well. But before we go ahead and get started, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment below so that this video gets picked up by the algorithm and pushed out to more traders like you. So let's get started. Number 1 is that there is no single way to trade. There is no one strategy. There is no holy grail strategy to trade. And I'm not just saying this. This is coming from the top traders in the world. They are the ones saying this. And basically, you have to pick a strategy that suits your lifestyle, suits your character, your personality. So, for instance, I used to like trading New York Open, but the problem was that where I live, New York Open is 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. It's very late in the evening. I should be sleeping. I should be going off to bed, not trying to get into a trade. And because it's at the end of my day, I'm not going to make good decisions. I'm already tired. I've used all my brain power for the day. Does that make sense? So you need to know when you are the best in your day, right? So if you're a morning person, then pick a session that aligns with your location in the morning so that you can give it everything you got, right? So for me, I trade the London Open, right? The London session is what I'm trading. So obviously, any pair that moves with volume during London is what I'm looking at. And then you also have to understand if you're a scalper, a day trader, or a swing trader, you have to know which strategy goes best with that particular characteristic of you, right? If you're into gaming and you like fast action, then scalping is probably good for you. And if you want a little bit more certainty, but you want to close your trades within the day, then obviously day trading. And if you like bigger moves, then you're going to be swing trading. And I'll tell you what, most of the market wizard traders are all swing traders because they're trading big positions, right? The scalping doesn't work, and intraday is too risky for a big position, right? So you have to know what characteristic you are, what personality you are, and choose a strategy that matches that. Okay. Number 2 is risk management. Risk management is everything. Risk management is a strategy on its own. And the way I approach risk management is quite dynamic. So, for instance, if I'm in a drawdown, then I cut my risk management down to my risk, I cut it down to 0.5%, right? So I'm trading 0.5% if I ever go into a drawdown. If I'm starting with a fresh account, then I'm trading with 1% risk, right? And once I go into profit and I have a buffer, then I can bump it up to 2%, right? So when you're winning, when you're in profit and you're winning, you can take bigger risks. That's when you want to put on more risk, right? Because you have a buffer, okay? And so you want to take advantage of your winning positions, your winning streak. So that's when you add more to your position. And then obviously if you're in a drawdown, the name of the game is to survive and get back to terra firma, to base level, right? So you don't want to be going crazy and chasing trades. You want to be taking calculated trades and managing your risk by sizing down. Yeah. So that's risk management. And these guys talk about it. They say risk management is everything. And I couldn't agree more. It absolutely is. It has to be top priority in your trading arsenal, right? If you don't respect your capital, then you're going to lose it, right? Your capital is everything you have. Without capital, you got nothing. So you need to respect your capital. It's everything. It's your lifeblood. It's what you trade, right? So if you don't have capital, you don't trade. So you respect your capital, but you're also not attached to the capital. You're detached from it. That's the other thing. So it's not that you have capital and you're frozen with fear and you can't take a trade. That's not the way to do it. You overcome that by managing risk. That's why risk management is important. Number 3, now I'm not saying this, the market wizards are saying this. It's psychology is more important than your strategy. So psychology is your managing your emotions, your fear, greed, revenge trading, your ego. This is all to do with psychology. Now, the best traders in the world are saying this, right? The biggest names, the most successful traders respect psychology because they know psychology is 90% of the equation. Your strategy is only 10%. Without psychology, your strategy is worthless. It doesn't work. If you cannot manage your trades and you manage yourself, then nothing else is going to work. So you have to fix your psychology, right? Your psychology is divided by your conscious awareness, and then your subconscious programming is a big part of your psychology because your subconscious programming is 90% of your psychology. So if you have the wrong subconscious programming, then you're always going to replay negative emotions. You're always going to go back into revenge trading without knowing why. You're going to default to bad behaviors, to these bad habits, right? And you have to reprogram your subconscious mind in the right way. You need to know how to do it as well. So you have to clear out negative beliefs and then put in new positive affirmations. You create a new trading identity, new trading characteristics, right? Basically, you have a new avatar. You level up yourself. And if you want to do that, check out the first link in the description. That's what we do. Inner Edge Pro. We work on psychology, right? And it's helped a lot of people. And maybe that's where you need to go next if you want to level up, is focus on your psychology. It's not always about strategy. Number four is that every single market wizard knew that losses were inevitable. You cannot avoid losses. It's part of the game. So what do? You make your losses count. So you look for the lesson, right? So a loss becomes a lesson. You learn from every loss. You take a journal, pen and paper, and you write down what you learned. Don't skip this, right? Don't be lazy and skip this and follow your dopamine and try to get into another trade without trying to take a lesson out of this loss. The loss was sent to you from a different version of you in another reality that is professional, that is the professional trader, and is sending you that loss for you to learn that lesson so that you can level up. If you ignore it, that loss, that lesson will keep coming back to you and haunt you. So you cannot run from your loss, right? You got to stay and fight. It's the fight or flight response to a loss. If you took a loss and you learned nothing, then you really took a loss, right? But if you took a loss and you got a lesson out of it and you learned it and you remember it, that loss becomes a lesson, right? You just paid for a lesson, and that's a good thing. That means you're getting better, right? So be okay with losing so that you can learn from it and level up and adapt and become better, right? Number five is that the best traders are selective. They're patient and they're selective. So they wait for A plus setups. They're patient on their entries. You understand? They can wait a week for their setup to show up. They know that their edge doesn't happen every day, right? You got to be patient and be selective for your setup. And each trade you take, you know how to grade. You have a system. You built a system to grade your trades. You're not just taking trades from memory and hoping that it's a good trade. You're not doing that. You give each trade a grade: A plus, A, B, C. Do you understand? And you do that by creating a system, a grading system. This is very important, right? If you're not able to grade your trades, then you don't know what you're taking. You're not going to get consistent. But if you can spot A plus setup and know how to grade it and keep taking that setup, then over time you're going to become consistent. That's how consistency is created. Not taking an A plus setup and then a B setup and then a C setup just for the sake of trading whenever you want because you have a dopamine problem, because you're addicted. It doesn't work like that, right? You stick to one setup, one grade, and one risk parameter, right? So if it's a 2R, you stick to the 2R, right? Not going one R one day and then 2R one day and then the next day you're going for a 5R and then you don't win the trade because you got greedy, right? That's not consistent. So your consistency comes from selecting A plus setups with proper risk reward targets, right? So number six is you got to be confident without arrogance. You cannot be arrogant. You got to be humble. You got to be confident in your edge. Just trust your system, your process, your edge. Trust yourself, right? Be confident when you take the trade. But be humble enough or be wise enough to know that you can be humbled anytime and be okay with it, right? You can take a hit. You can get punched. You can get knocked down. It's fine. It's part of the game. But you get back up. You understand? So you got to be humble and have some humility. That's how you move forward, and that's what the wizards in the book, the market wizards, that they talk about it, right? All this stuff is timeless, right? You can use this for the rest of your life. Okay? And number 7 is self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key. If you're not aware of your emotions, again, if you are unaware, that you're revenge trading, that you're getting angry, that you're now getting greedy, or you're becoming overconfident, or you're trading from ego, or you're trading to validate yourself, you're forcing trades, right? If you don't have this self-awareness, you're gonna get slaughtered, right? So be aware of yourself, and you can become self-aware through having a ritual, having a mindfulness moment, 15 minutes of meditation, pre-market rituals, meditations, walking, spending time in nature, going for a hike, going for a run, being active, going to the gym, being disciplined, sticking to a routine, eating, being aware of what you eat, not eating shit food. Do you understand? Like, this is all part of being self-aware, right? Not mindlessly scrolling and wasting precious time that you'll never get back on consuming junk content that is not good for you, chasing cheap dopamine, right? You have to be aware of this. You have to call yourself out because nobody else is going to do it. If you know that you have a tendency to scroll, then block the apps, right? If you have a tendency to waste time, then call yourself out, snap out of it, have a routine, have a schedule, create a schedule, treat every hour of your life like it's your last, because time is the only currency you don't get back. So don't waste it. Have awareness of your time, your emotions in that time, awareness of market structure, awareness of your technicals, awareness of the news, headlines that are important that could affect your trading. There is awareness is what is going to save you, right? If you're not aware, you're just an NPC. You're just operating on some false program from the matrix. And when you become aware, that's when you become dangerous. They don't want you dangerous and aware of your surroundings and what's happening to you, the programming that's going into you. If you're not aware of this thing, so you're just going to drift. You're just going to be drifting forever through life. So have awareness, wake up, snap out of it. Okay? So there you go. Those were the top 7 market wizard secrets, timeless wisdom that you can apply to all areas of your life, but mostly to trading. And I am absolutely guaranteed that it's going to help improve your trading if you just apply these simple rules, these principles, right? If you're new to my channel, go ahead, like and subscribe, drop a comment below. I drop videos pretty much every day. And until next time, stay safe out there because you're on your own. Take care now. Bye.